some measure from their alarm, and beginning to regard the whole matter as a well-contrived pleasantry, set up a loud shout of laughter at the predicament of the apes. "Leave them to me now," screamed Hop Frog, his shrill voice making itself easily heard through all the din. "Leave them to me. I fancy I know them. If I can only get a good look at them, I can soon tell who they are." Here, scrambling over the heads of the crowds, he managed to get to the wall, when, seizing a flambeau from one of the caryatides,
What's a flambeau?
a torch,
A torch.
he returned as he went.
Mm-hmm.
He went to the center of the room, leaping with the agility of a monkey upon the king's head, and thence clambered up a few feet up the shade, holding down the torch to examine the group of orangutans, and still screaming, "I shall soon find out who they are." And now, while the whole assembly, the apes included, were convulsed with laughing, the jester suddenly suddenly uttered a shrill whistle, when the chain flew up violently for about 30 feet, dragging with it the dismayed and struggling orangutans, and leaving them suspended in midair between the skylight and the floor. Hop Frog, clinging to the chain as it rose, still maintained his relative position in respect to the ape masters, and still, as if nothing were the matter, continued to thrust his torch down towards them, and though endeavoring to discover who they were.
So he's holding this lit torch in the middle of the air over people who are covered in tar.
And flax.
And flax.
So thoroughly astonished was the whole company at this ascent that a dead silence of about a minute's duration ensued. It was broken by just such a low, harsh, grating sound as had before attracted the attention of the king and his counselors when the former threw the wine in the face of Trippetta. But on the present occasion there could be no question as to whence the sound issued. It came from the fang-like teeth of the dwarf, who ground them and gnashed them as he foamed at the mouth and glared with an expression of maniacal rage into the upturned countenances of the king and his 7 companions. "Aha!" said at length the infuriated jester. "Aha! I begin to see who these people are now." Here, pretending to scrutinize the king more closely, he held the flambeau to the flaxen coat which enveloped him, and which instantly burst into a sheet of vivid flame. In less than half a minute, the whole 8 orangutans were blazing fiercely amid the shrieks of the multitude who gazed at them from below, horror-stricken and without the power to render them the slightest assistance.
At length, the flames, suddenly increasing in virulence, forced the jester to climb higher up the chain, to be out of their reach. And as he made this movement, the crowd again sank, for a brief instant, into silence. The dwarf seized his opportunity and once more spoke. "I now see distinctly," he said, "what manner of people these maskers are. They are a great king and his 7 privy counselors. A king who does not scruple to strike a defenseless girl, and his 7 counselors who abet him in outrage. As for myself, I am simply Hop Frog the jester, and this is my last jest." Owing to the high combustibility of both the flax and the tar to which it adhered, the dwarf had scarcely made an end of his brief speech before the work of vengeance was complete. The 8 corpses swung in their chains, a fetid, blackened, hideous, and indistinguishable mass. The cripple hurled his torch at them, clambered leisurely to the ceiling, and disappeared through the skylight. It is supposed that Trippetta, stationed on the roof of the saloon, had been the accomplice of her friend in this fiery revenge, and that together they effected their escape to their own country, for neither was seen again. So what happened?
He burned them.
Burned him alive.
He burned them in his last jest.
Nice. Freaky.
So thank you guys for paying attention right to the end. I really appreciate that. Hopefully you guys liked the story.
What else?